Acknowledge me!
Hello and welcome to Bitchin' About Wrestling, where the wise men talk about everything WWE. We've got an extra bonus episode for you this week as we go through our predictions for WWE Bash in Berlin. Thankfully, I'm being joined by my podcast friends today, as opposed to earlier in this week. Podcast friends. So welcoming back to the show, we have Alex. How are you doing, buddy?
Evening, I am finally out of court and can start playing podcast again, and I am doing it with absolutely no prep. I barely know what the matches are, so I'm gonna wing it.
Okay, can you just clarify the reason you're in court? Because that doesn't sound great. Like you've just been released.
I've been on really heavy charges. No, I've been on jury service. It was supposed to be 2 weeks, and I have just finished my third week. If you ever get called up for jury service, however interesting you might think it sounds, do whatever you can to get out of it, because it's a disaster of waiting and delays and bleh.
All right. Well, glad we can have you back and bring some entertainment back into your life, bring a bit more joy as we talk about wrestling. Rex, thank you for coming back. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Honestly, I'm looking forward to giving out my predictions, even though I have no prep at all. Not because I didn't have time. I've just been lazy about it. So
sometimes you just got to go with your gut, right? Sometimes you just got to go with your gut.
We're such a professional show.
Yeah,
exactly.
And thanks for the dedication, guys. I appreciate it.
But do you know what is really funny is that sometimes when you make these random predictions, they come true. So let's go with that, hunches. So let's see how it goes.
Absolutely. And welcoming back our newest member. He came on the show. He couldn't get enough. He had such a great time. He is back. Lee, how you doing?
I'm back for more. I loved it last time. Yeah, it was nice to talk wrestling with people that are interested. I think the wife has finally had enough of me saying, "What do you think of this? Oh, this is good." she's just not there with me. So now definitely good. And I've come back from my holidays, so I've had plenty of time on the plane to think about what's going on, what's going to happen in Berlin. I think I've got a wild one here that I'm intrigued to see if you guys are on the same page.
Interesting. Well, Lee guested on our last predictions in terms of just his predictions. He wasn't on the show and he won it. So he came in, the newbie, cleaned house. So now he's got that title to defend. But yeah, great to have you back, Lee. Thank you very much. Maybe we should actually do a wives prediction. So we could ask them off camera and give their thoughts, and because they probably outscore us, let's be honest, women's intuition and all that. So, but anyway, thank you very much for being here, watchers and listeners. And if you are watching us on our YouTube channel, we appreciate you. Make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that like for this video, and hit that bell to get notified. And if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, please make sure you hit that follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whichever platform you're listening to us, and give us that 5-star review. Go on, take a moment. I'll wait.
A few moments later.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, gents, let's talk about Bash in Berlin. If you're new to the show, or if you're a repeat viewer, I'm just going to go through how we do it. Basically, we're going to go through each match, and we're going to give different parts of predictions. So we're going to predict who the winner is, and we're going to predict how they're going to win. Pinfall, submission, TKO, whatever it might be. And then there's a bonus point available for each match. So that is a potential how they might finish the match. Do you think there's going to be interference? Is there going to be a return from a superstar or something like that? And then we have an overall pay-per-view bonus point. I should say PLE now. PLE bonus point, where if you think there's something that's going to actually happen during the show as an extra, you can earn a point for that. So I'm going to mix it around. I'm not going to do the whole randomizer thing. I'm just going to pick and point. But for each match, I'll start with somebody different. So let's go for the person who is the most prepared, apparently. So let's go with Lee. And the first match that we are going to be talking about is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match. Lee, how do you see this going?
Right. So a lot of my predictions are, I'm seeing Bash in Berlin as a sort of filler show towards Bad Blood. And I think there's going to be continuations of stories rather than climaxing. So just the strap match, I am going to pick a CM Punk win.
Okay.
I think that's the only reason Punk potentially took a loss as SummerSlam, is it was going to be a best of 3 trilogy, and I can see him coming out on top. So I'm going to go with a CM Punk win with a pin.
Well, this will be strap match, isn't it? So this one
Oh.
is going to be strap match rules, because they have. So if you don't know what strap match is, not you, Lee, but anybody else listening or watching, you're tethered to your opponent, and you can use the strap as a weapon, but you have to touch the corner pad of each of the 4 corners. And so once you've done all 4 corners, then you win the match. Now, I don't believe you have to touch one pad, then the other, and then later in the match you can touch the other 2. You have to do it in a sequence of 4. So you have to get around to all 4 without being interrupted, as is my understanding. I don't know if anyone wants to correct me.
I thought the last one where McIntyre and Cross at Extreme Rules was a pinfall, but
It could have been,
yeah,
but
it was.
yeah, but the commentator, Michael Cole specifically
said-
said, yeah. I think even Punk said, did he, with his
Yeah, Punk said it. You got to tap
Yeah,
all
you
the
have
corners,
to
which I
tap
think
all the
it's. I think
corners.
that's an old school
rule? Yeah.
old school rule. I
'Cause the
mean,
whole
it's,
point
it's
of
a
the
weird one, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But
You're supposed to drag your opponent behind you, basically, so you've beaten him to death, and then you pull them around the ring as you're almost showing off them to the crowd how badly you've beaten them. So, yeah, so there won't be a bonus point for this, but sorry, there won't be a finish point for this, but you have a bonus point.
Yes, I think Punk's going to end up with that bracelet back. I think, yeah, might be the end of the bracelet story.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much for that. Alex, what are your thoughts on CM Punk and Drew?
I want to see Drew McIntyre absolutely fucking annihilate that Punk. Because as we've said before, I don't like CM Punk. I think there are at the moment in this company, I think there are better people in the ring and on the mic. I think Drew has I mean, it might sound harsh to say Drew has carried this feud, but I think Drew has been the better party in this feud. However, I did see a thing today that when CM Punk was live streaming from underneath the ring before he attacked Drew on Monday night. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
I think I put it in the group earlier. Yeah, Drew. While Drew was in the ring talking, Punk was live streaming from his mobile under the ring.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Which is
I have to check that video. I haven't seen it.
Which
That's
is
amazing.
awesome. So I did like that. That did make me laugh. Again, I find this strap match stipulation of touching all 4 corners a bit weird, but I think that suits Drew because he's big and powerful and can lob CM Punk around the ring. It depends on where I want to sit, whether it's a case of whether I want to go with story or what I want and how it can go. But I actually think Drew can get another win. As we talk about, it's filler here for Bad Blood, where he can finally win the feud. Because I think when CM Punk wins, he wins the feud. And as for some reason he's the babyface in this, he's going to win the feud. So I think Drew can be shady, can use the bracelet as a distraction to Punk, and I think Drew McIntyre will get the win again, which will then lead to something else at Bad Blood, maybe a Hell in a Cell, which then might favor CM Punk. So I think Drew is going to use other methods of distraction, family wise, to get another one up on CM Punk and be like, see, I can just beat you. I can just beat you, and you can't do anything about it. It's time for you to go, old man. And then we get to Bad Blood, and it's something a bit bigger.
Okay. Cool.
My wife, I text my wife. We talked about this before about having wives do it. I text my wife. I've asked, she has no idea what's going on. I've just asked her for names, and she has gone for CM Punk.
Right. Okay.
So she's asked what she.
I'm going to put that in brackets.
She's asked what she gets if she wins. Is it like an accumulator where she earns lots of money? The answer is no. So,
well, I think you should give her something. Yeah. If she beats you.
Not monetary value. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah. Right. Rax, what are your thoughts on CM Punk and Drew?
Okay, well, I will have to say I'm not a big fan of strap matches. Never have been. I've never really been invested in any of the matches that I've ever seen. However, I've actually really enjoyed this feud like a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's like one of the best like current feuds ongoing. So I'm more intrigued for it right now. And I kind of feel like I think they both play off each other really well. I think Drew he's just so improved on the mic over the last year
Oh,
or
yeah.
so. He's just let him go. Honestly, he's just amazing. Just let him do what he's got to do. And in saying that though, if I've got to look at throughout the whole thing, I am actually interested a bit more into the feud. Into the match only purely for the feud. I'm gonna go with the CM Punk win because I have to agree with Lee. They're obviously going into Bad Blood. I'm
Yep.
seeing Bad Blood could be a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
That's you got to do it in the Hell in a Cell, right? So I see Punk winning this, and I guess I would see. I'm actually expecting a bit of blood in this as well. Just kind of you gotta bring this up. You got to kind of notch it up a little bit in the levels. You know what I mean? So I would really think as a bonus point, I think Punk's gonna win with the GTS. That's the final thing. Then the last tap.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely, I think that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
With the rules to this match, do you have to touch all four corners without being broken, or at some point do you have to touch all four corners?
I think you have to touch all four corners in a row, but they haven't exactly made that clear. So if you went as soon as the bell rings, if you touch one, it's is that one done? Do you know what I mean? It's but I don't think that necessarily is the case. I think you have to go to all four because the whole point is you have to drag your opponent around. But it's what is the time gap between it? I have no idea. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. So it's a little tricky.
Yeah, but again, I'm with Rax. I'm just not a fan of strap matches. However, wasn't there a Daniel Bryan one a couple of years ago that was actually pretty fucking good?
Yeah.
But again, it was because it was a pinfall.
Wasn't it with the Fiend?
The Fiend,
It was with the Fiend.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually pretty decent. That was decent. Yeah.
That's a good shout. Yeah. Okay, so I've also gone for CM Punk. I think that CM Punk flying over to Germany to take a loss after he lost at SummerSlam is unlikely. And I think it would level up the feud a little bit. And obviously strap match rules. I think he will go to claim his bracelet back at the end of the match. And then Drew will destroy the bracelet to piss him off even more. So that's how I'd book it as well. But I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen because at this point he's been doing all this to get the bracelet back, and Punk wins the match. He's dragged him around the ring, and he's just a big "fuck you" and just breaks the bracelet. And it's I'd rather it to happen that way than you get it back. So that's how
I like that. I like that.
Cool. Triple H, it's cool. Right, let's move on to the next match, and this is the only women's title on the card for this match. So we don't have a World Heavyweight Championship defense or a WWE Championship defense for the women, but it is the Women's WWE Tag Team Championship match. We have the Unholy Trinity, I think it is, or is it Unholy Union?
Union. Is that their official name?
Yeah, it's on the WWE website now, and they referred to it on Raw this week. So
another shit name for a tag team.
Yeah, well, I think it's so they can also include is it Blair Davenport as well within that union. So it doesn't mean it could be 2, 3, whatever it is. But yeah, it's Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I'll go first for this one. I don't like the way they've built up Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for this match. So I'm actually going to go for a retain. Even I just don't see them winning it. And I think it'd be a bit lazy if they did. So I'm going to go with Fire and Dawn. I'm going to say Cargill's going to take the pinfall by Dawn. But I think what will happen is Blair Davenport might get involved in the match. I think Naomi potentially will come out to stop Davenport getting involved. And Bianca Belair is going to be distracted or something will happen, and that's going to piss Cargill off because she ends up taking the pin or she gets knocked by Davenport. And we're going to see more now then of the tension building between Cargill and Belair to change that. I thought about her becoming heel during this event, but I think it might be a bit quick and I expect somebody else to turn heel. So I don't think they'll do that with two characters, but I think they'll show a bit of a discontent between the two characters. So that's what I'm going for. Rax, what are you going to go for the WWE Women's Tag Team match?
I'm not invested in this at all.
No, right?
Yeah, it's terrible. But I'm gonna say the Unholy Union are gonna retain.
Mhm.
I actually don't see Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill winning another tag thing. I think they're gonna probably start,
Mhm.
if they are gonna intend to do like a one-on-one match between them, maybe at WrestleMania or
Mhm.
something late in the future. I think they're gonna probably start showing the cracks now, possibly.
Mhm.
I Or maybe it's too early to call. Like, honestly, don't really
Mm.
care much. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's not been booked well. I think they're gonna retain pinfall. I think they can. Oh, I never remember what that finish is called that they do. It's a pretty decent one that they do.
Oh, I can't remember the name either.
I can't remember the name, but you know, what I'm talking about, she does
Y-
like a swanton
Yeah.
bomb kind of thing onto
Mhm.
the knees.
Mhm.
I think they're gonna do that on Cargill.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Isla Dawn pinning Cargill, and I
Mhm.
do see Naomi and Blair Davenport getting involved in some capacity.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay. Lee, who are you going for?
So, like you guys, yeah, I agree. Not really invested. I've also gone for an unholy union win.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think Belair's going to take the pin,
Okay.
and I think Cargill's going to possibly let her down at some point, not be there for a tag,
Right.
or because I think I can see this tag team splitting, but I think it's going
Yeah.
to be Belair that turns heel. I can see
Ooh. Okay.
her heel work in NXT was brilliant, and I think
Right.
I can see him sort of swerving us a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I
And
suppose that would be the bigger shock if
Mm.
she turned. So yeah.
So
All
I
right.
think you'll start to see the cracks towards maybe at the end of this match. You know,
Mhm.
they have that little funny stare off and hug it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
that,
All
that's
right.
my prediction.
Who's going to make the pin? Is it going to be Dawn or is it going to be Fire?
It's gonna be Dawn. Yeah,
Dawn.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be Isla Dawn again.
Okay. Cool. All right, Alex, what have you got?
So I think they need to inject something into this feud because, again, I am in agreement with you lot, and it's been difficult to get invested into this. I think this is where we're going to see Jade turn on Bianca because the next pay per view is Bad Blood, and
Yeah.
I think that just works. And however much I'd like to agree with Lee on Bianca turning would be great. Nobody wants to cheer. No one wants to cheer Cargill over
Yeah.
over Bianca Belair, and that's just because that's nothing on a slight on Jade. That is how big a star Bianca Belair is. And
Yeah, I
okay,
get
I'm
that.
biased because she's my favorite person on the women's roster at the moment, as far as an in ring worker goes. So I think something's going to happen. Bianca's going to take the pin because of something that Jade does, and I'll say Isla Dawn because my daughter's name is Isla, and she gets very, very excited whenever she sees somebody with her name on the screen,
Oh, sweet.
as a 6-year-old would. So, and my wife went for Bianca and Jade.
Bianca and Jade.
She knows nothing. She doesn't get this stuff. She doesn't know.
Right. She knows she's going to beat you. You know,
Yeah, I'm going to go outlandish with this. I'm
Yeah.
going to take the L, and then I'll never live it down.
Right. That's everyone. I've also got Ryan and Neil's predictions, and I'll go through them at the end as well. So they are recognized, so they have given it to me. Right. Let's move on to Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, the Terror Twins, versus Dirty Daddy Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Ooh, how is this going to go? Rax, give me your thoughts. How's this one going to go down?
Loving it, honestly, completely loving this feud. So this is actually the one I'm looking forward to the most out of the card. Completely, I would, as much as I'm loving like the new Liv and Dom being together. I don't see them winning this one at all.
Okay.
I see the Terror Twins, which again another terrible name. What's going on with
It
their name
is.
picking? Man?
It
It's
is.
terrible. But yeah, I see them having the pin over there. Obviously, it's going to bleed into, again. Sorry to repeat everyone, but it's going to go into Bad Blood again. Everything. It's just going to continue, right? So it's going to be a win for them for sure, 100%. And I can actually see Rhea Ripley picking up the win. On Dom doing the Riptide, the biggest Riptide you ever see on Dom.
Right.
I am going to see that. That is 100% going to be done.
So you
That's what
think
I'm looking
Rhea's
for.
going to pin Dom? Is it actually a mixed tag, as in
Yeah, it's a
can the
mixed
women
tag,
fight the
but-
men?
Actually, that's a
Right,
good
okay.
point. Yeah, well, it's a mixed tag, but that's a good.
I mean, they wouldn't stop one from pinning the other because I think
Yeah, I
I think there isn't a rule that one can't fight the other.
Yeah,
But
Well, no, they
it's
have to
kind of
change.
discouraged. Do they have to
Yeah.
change?
Yeah. When you
Right.
tag when the man tags in the
However-
woman, the other woman.
I mean, she can still hit the Riptide,
Or-
and then Priest can do his choke
Yeah.
slam and then pin him. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm still going to stick with the Riptide as the finishing sort of move. I think she's still going to
Okay.
pin him. I think it's gonna come up on Raw saying like, listen, you weren't supposed to pin me. You know, I'm a bloke. You're a lady. So it's moot. The point. I think they could play that angle. That could be kind of a, something like a whiny prat like Dom would be on about. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I'm going to stick with it. Fuck it, I'm
All
gonna
right.
stick with it.
Sounds good. Right. Lee, what have you got for this one?
This is my hype match. This is one I'm looking forward to most on the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the people of Germany are going to go home happy on Saturday. I'm put a pin in Liv and Dom to pick up the win.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the biggest heel in modern wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and I put myself in creative. How do we get more heat on Dom? I can see Dom. This is my prediction. Liv will pin Rhea, but Dom's
Right,
going to hit
okay.
a frog splash on Rhea Ripley.
Oh, okay.
He's going to splash her, and Liv is going to pick up the win.
So
That is going to elevate him. So he won't be able to speak. Raw. They might as well turn his
not a
microphone
bad
off.
shout.
Yeah,
That's not a bad shout at all.
book it, Trips.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you remember they had the Extreme Rules, didn't they? Mixed tag. The I Quit match, and the crowd went mad, didn't they? When it was Rhea Ripley hit the concerto on Edge's wife. Brutal.
Yes.
And I can see him going back to the well there. But-
Okay. Yeah, good shout. All right. Alex, what have you got?
So I think I also agree with Lee, and I think it's going to be a Dom and Liv win. But I think it's going to be because Finn Balor is going to cause the issue, and he's going to do something to Damien, because then they will have their match at Bash in Berlin, because obviously they need to have a feud. Not Bash in Berlin, at Bad Blood.
Bad Blood,
because
yeah.
their feud has been bubbling over, and he hasn't been able to get
Yeah.
his hands. It'll be another thing where he hasn't been able to get his hands on Finn Balor, and that will cause some sort of distraction. It will probably come from something that Dom does to Rhea, and then Liv will hit the Oblivion, and that'll be it. 1, 2, 3 for Liv on Rhea. Okay. And my wife, who knows nothing, has gone for Damien and Rhea.
So basically the opposite of everything.
Exactly. This is how our predictions are going to go tonight.
Amazing. Right. Okay, so for me, I also went for Dom and Liv. I think it's probably the right thing at this point. And again, I think because it is in Germany, I think the crowd will really react to that, because I think we'll have other faces win, so like CM Punk and stuff like that. So that's why I don't see them winning. I also went for pinfall. I actually went for Dom pins Priest, but I think that's following a Judgment Day interference. So I think, yeah, they'll take out Priest, and then Dom will hit his splash and he'll end up pinning him, because he's on a bit of a hot streak. You know, he's pinned his dad like twice now, and then, you know, he'll be next. And it won't be because it will make Priest look weak, because he'll be taken out. So that's what I've gone for. Right. So I think we'll move on to the Undisputed Championship, because I think the World Heavyweight Championship is probably going to be the main event. So we'll move on to the Undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Alex, I'm going to come to you first. What are your thoughts?
You don't think Cody's going to be the main event?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because it's Berlin and it's Gunther. Because I know he's not from Germany. He's from...
It's Europe, though, isn't it?
Belgium. Yeah, it's Europe. So
it's Europe.
So yeah, so I think
it's
because
close
he's
to
in
his
Europe...
hometown.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine. No, I'm. Hang on. That's what we're doing. We're doing
Cody and Owens.
We're doing Cody and Owens. I'm disappointed this match because there's no build. It's two mates. I don't think they're going to turn Kev heel like I think that's what you're going to predict, Kenan. Because I don't think anyone wants to boo him at the moment. I don't think that's what he's wanted, and I think it's going to be a case of when I think it'll be Randy eventually turning heel and going in that direction. So I'm going to go for a nice, clean match. Nice, clean, respectful match. That's my twist. Is there's going to be no shenanigans because there's going to be shenanigans because there's going to be shenanigans in every single match.
Yeah,
so
because they'll tease it like they did at the end of SmackDown, but nothing will happen. Okay.
I think this has potential though. As a clean match to be a brilliant, brilliant match with two brilliant professional wrestlers putting on an absolute show. There'll be lots of near falls. There'll be kickouts of stunners and pop-out power bombs and kickouts of he'll have to do 3 Cody cutters on him, but not Cody cutters. 3 crossroads on him, and Cody will get the win with the crossroads with a triple crossroads.
Okay.
And my wife said Cody too.
Right. Okay.
So she knows what she's starting. She's starting to learn what she's talking about now.
Right. Okay. So I'll give my predictions on this one. So yeah, I've gone for Cody. I've gone for a pinfall, but I have gone for Kevin attacks Cody after the match. So I think it's going to be really, really close. And, because Kevin's been talking about how much he doesn't deserve this, how much Cody's his friend, and I think he'll realize after the match how much he does want it. And it's more about the championship that he wants as opposed to Cody. And I think that'll just break him. I think he'll beat him down afterwards. And I can maybe see a repeat of this match going into Bad Blood. Because again, that feeds into that pay-per-view. So, that's what I'm going to go for. Because Cody's not going to lose the title at this point. I don't think it will be a DQ either. I think it will finish the match. I think it'll be a clean match. But then, the turn will happen afterwards. Lee, what have you got?
So I've gone same as Cody Rhodes pinfall win. I do think this will be the main event.
Okay.
I think, and for reasons that I'll explain maybe in a bit. But I think Cody Rhodes is going to ping. I think KO is going to throw everything at Cody and be unable to put him away. And it's maybe towards the end of the match we're going to see Kevin teasing a cheat, teasing a heel turn,
right?
But pull him back, and that will ultimately cost him. Cody will recover, hit the crossroads, etc. Right. 1, 2, 3, done. But they'll leave friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Rax, what have you got?
Yes, pretty much the same as what you said, Kenan. To be honest with you, pinfall, Cody Rhodes, and I think Owens, we're going to see a heel turn. I kind of want him to kind of get away from the whole stunner thing now. He's bringing back that pop-up powerbomb thing, which I prefer 20 times more.
Definitely.
So, I mean, 100%. And do you know what? I actually prefer KO as a heel than he's face. He's great as a face. He's amazing as a heel. So I want to see that again. So we're looking at 2016, 2017 sort of Kevin Owens sort of heel. Definitely would love to go see that. But he ain't gonna win. But I'm sensing a heel turn there. And plus, they also had that whole packaging that they had the video package on SmackDown, but all the people that he's turned against. So
which is
even though 100%, that's what I'm gonna go with. Let's do that.
All right, good stuff. Like I said, I think the heel turn will happen, but I also think I've mentioned it this week's show. I also think Randy Orton will eventually turn heel, and they'll both be leaving Cody alone because I think that's the way that you move the bloodline thing onwards. And maybe it's the match with Gunther that pushes Randy over the edge as well. And Cody might be trying to console him when he goes back, and he's like, okay, well, I didn't win that championship, so now I'm going to come after yours. Maybe that will happen. So we'll see. Right. So the last match on the card we have at the moment is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It is the Ring General Gunther versus Randy Orton. I'm happy to go first on this one. I think I would have actually booked Gunther to lose if I was in charge because of his reign as Intercontinental Champion. I don't think anyone would have seen him not holding it for like 30 days.
Shock factor.
It's shock factor, yeah, exactly. But no, I think Gunther will win. I think it will be a pinfall to kind of quash what happened at King of the Ring. I thought about a submission, but because he didn't get both of his shoulders down, I think it is going to be a clean pin. But I think Gunther's going to kick out the RKO. I think that is what's going to happen in this match. So that's my bonus point. Alex, what have you got for this match?
So I again obviously have a Gunther win. I think it's funny what you said just before, which was I think Randy losing this is part of his spiral to becoming a heel, and he won't be able to do it on Gunther, but he'll then pick on Cody, and we'll get that feud, which will be fire. I agree with you. I think he will kick out of an RKO. I do think there might be an appearance from Ludwig Kaiser because he is German.
Okay, yes.
Because he is German and he has been in Germany all week with Gunther. So I think that Ludwig will turn up and cause some distraction, which will end up in a powerbomb probably.
Protects Orton a little bit then, doesn't it?
Protects Orton, and I think Randy is going to get chopped to shit.
Yes. All right. Good stuff. So you going for pinfall or submission?
I'm going for pinfall for, again, the exact same reason that you went for pinfall. And the wife went Randy because she hasn't got a clue because she only knows who Randy Orton is. So,
I know that name. I've heard my husband mention that. Yeah.
No, it's because the kids like his music and they play his song.
Right. Brilliant. That's some good parenting there. Well done.
Oh, talking about his song, the German fans are going to go freaking mental singing Randy's song.
Yes.
In the absence of Seth Rollins, that's the song people are going to be singing, and that's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to the German fans.
Yeah, and the Germans are going to want to out-sing the French crowd for sure. Do you know what I mean? And that's where it all started. So I think the German crowd are going to be nuts. I think they're going to be hot. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And Rax, what are you going for?
I'm going to go for a Gunther win as well. Like what Alex said, he's going to get chopped to shit, man. This is going to be like a bloodbath. You can see that.
Do you think you'll make him bleed?
Yeah. Well, actually, wait, hold on. No blood.
Okay.
Close to it. His chest is going to be like pink.
It depends on what happens because with chops you can't really plan blood.
Yeah, I guess so. You can't. Very good point. I'm seeing a Gunther submission win.
Submission. Okay.
I'm actually going to see I think we're not going to see it like a heel turn right now with Orton. I kind of see maybe they're planting the seeds in it kind of thing. I think he's going to attempt a punt kick. I think just to kind of kind of like slay him kind of thing as a last kind of resort. Doesn't get it done obviously, but he attempts it. Definitely a Ludwig Kaiser appearance is going to be on there. He's gonna get an RKO for sure. 100%.
Right.
100%. And I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I can think outside the box with this one? No, but I mean, I will say that at some point, Orton's got to get another world title, and at some point, you've got to put.
I'd agree. Yeah, I'd agree.
Probably not right now, but it will do. Well, they should do anyway.
Yeah. All right. So, Lee, final pick. Who are you going for in Gunther versus Orton?
Cool. Following off the back of Alex's song, I am gutted there isn't a Jey Uso entrance.
Oh, right.
Just Backlash was incredible.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. But right, Gunther. I'm going for a Gunther win. And listening to your predictions, I don't know if I've got overexcited at altitude on the plane or not, because I'm going for a Gunther pin, and I'm going to say that it's as clean as a whistle. I don't see any interference.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there was so much sort of, discrepancies with his King of the Ring win that he's going to pin him and put this to bed. I've beaten you. Done.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
And I totally agree. I think this is going to be the unraveling of Randy Orton from the voices in the head are coming back. He's
Yeah.
gonna start hearing them.
And the fact that he addressed the crowd on Raw was like thanking them, it's like this means so much to me now. It's like it's way over the top for Orton. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it has to start turning soon.
yeah. I think it's going to be about at this pay-per-view. I think he's going to turn heel.
Okay. Right. So the last thing I'll ask is, have you guys got any PLE bonus points? Anything you think might happen on the event? I'm going to go for one, and I think we might get a John Cena appearance because he tends to do that in Europe. He's done it in London, so I wouldn't be surprised if he comes, and maybe he'll even announce like his next match, or do something to that effect. So yeah, I think we might see John Cena. So where we don't have Jey Uso and that kind of pop, I think a surprise entry, because they've been really hot on this pay-per-view I keep saying pay-per-view, PLE, in terms of WWE in Germany. They did a whole package about what Germany means to WWE in the first country outside the US to host them and all this kind of stuff. So I think, it would be really nice if they could get a John Cena appearance. So we'll see. Rax, have you got any PLE bonus points?
No, do you know what? I think it's just going to be run-of-the-mill standard PLE, to be honest. I'm not expecting any special appearance. I'm not expecting anything out of the blue. No one returning. Nothing like that. I think it's just going to be just run-of-the-mill standard PLE. I don't think there's going to be anything of any note.
All right, cool. Lee, anything else from you?
I want to change mine. Yours is great. Yeah, I can see Cena maybe announcing a Rumble entry or something. No, I've gone. I think Gunther's match is going to go on early. I think it's either first or second. And then Cody's main eventing, and that's where I think we haven't got anything bloodline, have we, on this?
No, we don't. And I wondered if they were going to interfere them and check themselves in any way, but I don't see why they would, because Cody and Owen are fighting each other. So why would you interfere with that? Unless they showed up after the event and just beat down on both of them. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, because Solo said on SmackDown, saying like, I'm next, get this out of the way. I'm coming for the title. I can see, Cody main event him, Cody winning, Bloodline coming out, outnumbered, Randy Orton's coming down, fight them off, arms up in the air, RKO on Cody. And I think that's your Orton heel turn.
All right, okay,
that's what I'm going
with. Yeah, I can see that happening because obviously SmackDown is in Berlin before. So the Bloodline will be there on SmackDown, no doubt. So they will be in Germany. So, yeah, all right. And Alex, anything else from you?
I didn't have one, but I think you've nailed it. Because I don't see anything storyline related that could actually work with a comeback.
Because I thought about Charlotte, but again, I don't think it's the right time.
There's nothing going on for Charlotte. There's not, because if Charlotte's going to turn back up, it's going to be turning up for a title match, because she could just walk straight back into the title scene. She's not going to be interested in a tag team feud. No. So, so I think Cena is a great shout. I'm not going to let you put me down for Cena. I'm not going to steal any points on that one, but I think that's an absolute great shout. And yeah, you're right. It will absolutely get the crowd popping. With regards to Lee's thing about main event and Cody, I think he's probably right. I think Cody will probably come down first. If he's not main eventing, he's opening.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. Guys, that is our predictions for Bash in Berlin. Thank you very much. I'm just going to run down what the other guys gave for theirs. So Neil, he went for a Drew win in the strap match. He went for Jade and Bianca in the tag match. He went for the Terror Twins in the tag match. And he went for Gunther via TKO. And he went for Cody, and he put Owens heel turn. Ryan, he had Punk, and he said Punk draws blood from Drew, either via the chest or the back with the strap. He went for Cargill and Belair, and then he had Dom and Liv, and he said again Rhea hits Dom with a riptide. He had Gunther, he thinks that'll be the main event of the show, and he went for Owens to win. But I don't know if he put because if it was a DQ, it'd be Cody. So yeah, I don't know where he's gone with that. I do not see Owens winning the title, but hey, Ryan's gone for something left field, and he's put an Owens heel turn as well. So those are the predictions. Guys, what are your thoughts on their predictions?
I think that Ryan just loves Kevin Owens, and that's it. It doesn't see sense.
I'm just checking that he put it right. Yeah, no, Kevin Owens, he did put that down. So,
Listen, I want to see go into the title on him sooner rather than later, but he doesn't quite fit in the plans at the moment.
no, and that's it. It was like, what does he do with the belt unless they have a rematch? But also, it's not a bad thing having a face take the belt off Cody as opposed to a heel, because it doesn't, is there kind of a respect thing after the match, and he'll be like, right, you gave me a chance, I'll give you a rematch, and maybe they have a rematch and he wins it back. But
I get it, but I don't like it. I
agree.
As far as the way the current story arc is going, Owens with the title doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
As far as the story arc is concerned, I just hope that Triple H has got his arm around him, going, "Don't worry, you are going to get your time," because Owens is a Triple H guy, so Triple H will look after him. But it's a case of, you've seen how the story arc is. We have to do a long-term story tell.
Yeah.
You'll get your go.
Yeah.
Even if it's a case of in the draft he goes to Raw, maybe he's the one to take it off Gunther.
Yeah.
Apparently, he hasn't re-signed with WWE yet. Apparently, he's really close to the end of his deal, but I can't imagine him going anywhere else except staying with WWE.
Yeah,
But he's not an AEW guy.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't see it.
Unless he does something which, like Becky Lynch has done, just doesn't sign the new deal, takes a bit of a break, spends some time with the family, and then re-signs a new deal later on. It's quite a possibility. So, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on who you think might answer the LA Knight US Open Challenge on SmackDown. Because initially I thought that it could be John Cena to answer.
It should have been on. It should have been on Bash in Berlin.
I agree. I think that would have been awesome. But I saw an interview with Cena, and he's talking about like his journey back with WWE, and he made a good point. He hasn't actually won a match since 2018. So to progress, he needs to turn and change the sum. So I don't expect him to come back and his first match necessarily be a loss. But at the same time, it's a case of, well, actually, why wouldn't? Match. Yeah, but actually, why wouldn't he come back and take a couple of losses he has to then build his momentum? Because if he comes back and wins straight away, it's like, well, you've been gone for ages. Why are you taking these wins? So it wouldn't be a bad thing, actually, if he showed up on SmackDown for the Open Challenge against LA Knight. LA Knight does take the win. And, he's missed this opportunity, like almost like an easy title win opportunity. He misses that, and he has to then build that momentum. So, but any other thoughts on who else it could be on SmackDown to answer that? Because I can't see it being Carmelo Hayes or Andrade, because I think they're going to have another match. Escobar,
done.
He is done. He's going to probably be in a tag match against Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. So I think there's going to be something there. So who else is there? Could we have Logan Paul turn up in Berlin?
No, that's not going to happen. He's not. Oh, you mean as in Berlin? I'm trying to think who else there is. That's everyone I keep thinking of at the moment is Raw. So that's not going to happen. Maybe it will be somebody new,
but it could be from Raw because it's an open challenge, right? So
it's still a SmackDown title.
I'd agree, but
I've got one.
Go on.
I've got one. AJ Styles.
Ooh,
Possibly.
He's due to come back. It'd be weird to come back and take a loss. Does it end in a DQ, perhaps? But
yeah.
Oh, I know.
I guess go on.
Joe Hendry.
Wow, you know what?
Why
I
not
believe
indeed?
in Joe Hendry.
I mean, when he shows up on the main roster show, that's going to be.
It'll be the Rumble. The Rumble.
That's what I thought.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think we can all put our as our thing for the predictions for the Rumble that Joe Hendry will turn up. Actually, I think we should say we're not allowed to say that.
Yeah,
because
it has
too
to happen. It's too obvious.
It's too obvious. Carrion's Raw.
Raw, yeah.
Everyone I can think of is Raw. What the hell's happened to the SmackDown roster?
I mean, unless it's like an Austin Theory or Grayson Waller, it could be one of those two, and it could be a squash match. But yeah, otherwise it has. Because I'm trying to think if there's anyone due to return, but
if they're due to return, to the return and then lose.
Yeah, well, that's it, right?
Well, Jacob
it's-
Fatu, he's injured, right? Jacob
Yes.
Fatu, is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's injured. So he can't,
Yeah, he's got the boot on at the moment because otherwise I thought that'd be brilliant. Just smash LA Knight and just take that title.
Oh, then-
If LA Knight had the title for a while,
Yes,
that's exactly what I would do.
agreed.
But
yeah,
LA needs a run. He deserves a run. So it does need to be somebody that he can take on. I mean, it could be a fan favorite that comes out and they could just have a good, respectful match. No, he's Raw as well. No. Why is everybody on Raw?
Well, do you know what? It could just be Carmelo Hayes, and then Andrade just gets involved in it or something. I don't know.
maybe become a triple
slim
threat. They
pickings.
both come out. Yeah, it's a funny one.
I was
We'll have
thinking,
to wait.
SmackDown's in Germany, isn't it? SmackDown's in.
Yeah, it
Berlin.
is. Yeah.
Could Kaiser? Could that be how he gets onto in front of the crowd? Or
Oh, yeah.
Ilya Dragunov? You know,
Yeah.
He's Raw as well, right? Or it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
they're both-
He's Raw as well.
Raw, yeah.
So is the mid card for SmackDown quite weak then? Because we're picking all these people that could go for the US Championship, and it's like they're all on Raw. Who else besides Andrade and Carmelo Hayes?
I'm googling. I'm googling.
The SmackDown roster.
Welcome. Yeah, I'm googling the SmackDown roster. Welcome to middle-aged men googling. Hang on.
Do you think perhaps it could be someone from NXT making just a
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it could.
possibly? Why not?
Trick Williams, that'd get a good
Yeah,
pick.
Trick Williams.
Good pop.
Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin.
No, again, they're going to be fighting the Phantasma.
Oh, Giovanni Vinci.
Right. Yes, they've been doing his vignettes, haven't they?
But again, is he going to come on? Is he going to come straight on and lose his first match because they're bigging him up in this particular way? I mean, it's not going to happen. But I would love for Montez Ford to start his singles run, and that would be a good way for Montez Ford to do it.
I look at him
Shinsuke
and think,
Nakamura is still technically on the SmackDown roster.
He
You
is
know what, I
technically
mean-
still the roster.
Are they? They're kind of teasing a Town Down Under kind of split as well. I think.
Yeah.
It is
So
a weak.
could be-
I think it'll be Austin Theory. It is a weak roster
Gotta be one of
for the
those.
mid card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's
It
in a
is.
fucking tag team on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So we'll have to see what happens. But right. Thank you very much for being with me tonight, gentlemen. Really appreciate it. We'll see who comes out on top. If you, those of you watching or listening and you're still with us, appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'm actually going to be attempting a live stream watching Bash in Berlin this weekend. As it's a fairly decent time and the wife is away working, I have the opportunity. So I'm going to give it a go. I have no idea how I'm going to do it yet. I'm probably going to do it on TikTok. Might try and get it on YouTube as well. But you guys need to give me some more subscribers for me to do that, I believe. So click that subscribe and I can live stream. Thank you very much. But yeah, like I said, hit that like and subscribe. Really appreciate your support. Make sure you share the podcast as well. Anybody who knows that like WWE, send them our way. Alex, Lee, right. Anything else you want to talk about before we go today?
Yeah, I think we need a little bit of a tribute to Sid Udi, Sid Vicious, Sid Psycho,
Good
Sid.
shout.
I was really sad to hear about that. One of my early core memories as a kid from WWE was Psycho Sid. I was just so in awe of how enormous he was, because when I was watching, it was him often versus Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan was the big guy, the big larger than life guy, and he towered over Hulk Hogan.
And he was bigger. Yeah.
And he was just an absolute monster. And for me, he was like the epitome of a big guy. He was big, he was tall and incredibly muscular and massive, and was just this imposing character. Not the best mic skills, as if you go back and watch some of his botches on some of the things that he says on some of his promos. But I was a fan of Psycho Sid, and I really liked him, and I was really sad to hear, I think, that he that he passed
He
away.
passed.
And
No, that's a really good
condolences
shout.
to the family.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I didn't do it on my show. I didn't do it on the show earlier in the week, and I regretted it afterwards after I posted. Think, oh, I should have done that. But they did a nice tribute video. I thought, considering the time frame, which when it happened and what they got out there, and it's really sad actually, because I saw a post on Twitter and Sid actually posted a tweet just at the end of July saying, hopefully 2025 will be the year that I get inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. Time is ticking, so it is now or never for me. With Vince McMahon gone, the company is more open to suggestions. Triple H needs to hear the voices of my fans. You know, and that's literally a month ago. And that's just like, it's so sad that hasn't happened. So I wonder whether it will be this year. I don't know, because I thought it might be Bray this year because they didn't do it last year. But you're not going to have two, wrestlers who've passed on the same show. So we'll have to see what they do with that. But and the other little bit of trivia said, he was the first person to kick out of Hulk Hogan's leg drop. But it was not supposed to go down that way. The match, he was supposed to actually have the pinfall interrupted by Papa Shango, but he missed his cue. And so he had no choice to kick out.
That. I watched a video on that.
And
Came out so late.
That's it. He came out late. So Sid actually had to kick out of it because the match had to continue. And so once he does kick out of it, there's really weird reaction from everyone because like, oh my God, what's happening? This has all gone to shit. But yeah, he was the first person to kick out of the leg drop. So
can I just say though, as Psycho said, like I actually was in love with his theme entrance. It was the take on Psycho itself.
Yes.
I thought it was it was a great entrance theme. 100%, yeah. No, yeah, he was a larger than life personality. I loved him. I thought it was great. I thought he was great.
Great. And talking of great entrance themes, we are actually going to be doing a top 10 entrance themes episode soon. Probably going to be dropping in about a week's time. So we're going to have the live stream this weekend. We're going to do a reaction video potentially Saturday night or Sunday for Bash in Berlin. We'll do our regular show on Tuesday night, which drops either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, depending which time zone you're in. And then we're also then going to do the top 10 entrance themes. So there's a lot going on.
And we have already had arguments about the rules for the entrance themes.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's like a case of, can you allow all three of Triple H's entrance themes in? No. And I was like, no. Neil's like, yes, which was giving away 30% of what Neil's going to do.
Yeah, so no, Judge rules it has to be a particular song, a particular version. So even for like The Rock, if you want the Rock stream, is it the normal Rock? Is it Hollywood Rock? Which version is it you're putting forward? So now you have to be specific with your version. So.
And it will be that case of, is it because what's the best song, as in sounds great, or is it, I think it has to be meaningful to the industry, because there are songs that aren't necessarily, they wouldn't chart like Joe Hendry.
Yeah,
but
that got to like number 10 in the UK.
He beat Taylor Swift.
Yeah, he did. I mean, how could that not make the list? Well, there you go.
So, but yeah, so no, I'm looking. I'm just banging the table. Sorry, I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be really good fun. Listen, we're men, and men like making lists.
Yes,
and I'm looking forward to all the lists we're going to do. And in the comments, if you've got any lists that you want us to do, put it down, and I'm certain we'll come up with them.
Absolutely. Put your suggestions down in the comments. And we'll be doing, I think every 2 weeks, we'll be doing a top 10. So we did our first top 10, which was the top 10 finishers of all time. So make sure you go check that video out. Highly entertaining. We had a lot of fun doing it. So, and that'll wrap it up for today. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Listeners and watchers, thank you as well. And we'll see you after Bash in Berlin. Peace out.
Peace.